Well, it's been a while, right? But I finally got around to checking out The Matrix Resurrection. Yeah, did it, people. Did it. I mean, this film, it came out in 21, you know what I mean, last year. And there's so much talk about it, right? So much talk about it. It's been a while, right? Since the last one, which was Revolutions, right? So that was 2003. So yeah, nearly 20 years, right? Nearly 20 years. And to be honest, I thought those films were so bad, so bad. So it's just like, look, it's been ages. Those stunk, right? It kind of ended. So what else is there? I mean, what else is there to tell? With this one, only one Wachowski came back. It's Lana. Um, she wrote it with David Mitchell and Alexander Hemon. Producing the film, we have got Grant Hill, James McTeague, and Lana Wachowski, right? Executive producing is Carrie-Anne Wachowski. I have no clue who that is. Um, Michael Salvin, Terry Nedham, Garrett Grant, Jesse Emeron, Bruce Berman, and Amy Algetti. This is hosted produced by Matt Bilski and Lauren Turgeon. It's co-produced by Charlie Wobuckham, Henning Mollefenter, and Christopher Fazer and Mickey Emmerich. So yeah, there you go, people. There you go. Music is Johnny Kilmeck and Tom Torquia. Cinematography is Danielle Mazzasesi and John Toll. It's edited by Joseph Jet Sally. Casting is Carmen Cuba. Production design is Hugh Baitup and Peter Walpole. Art direction handled by Ravi Bansal, Richard Bloom, Daniel Frank, Stephen O. Gesler, Wolfgang Metchen, Angel Muller, Tamia Nickel, Nancy Nobut, Esther Schreiner, and Maya Shimoguchi. Set decoration is Lisa Bennon and Barbara Munch. Costume design is Lindsay Pugh. And we'll have some things to say about old Linz. Our cast, well. We have got Keanu Reeves back as Neo, aka Thomas Anderson. Carrie-Anne Moss is Trinity, aka Tiffany. We got Yaya Abdul-Mateen II as Morpheus, aka Agent Smith. Right? Yeah. We have Jonathan Groff as Smith. Jessica Henwich is Bugs. Neil Patrick Harris is the analyst. Jada Pinkett Smith is Niobe. We got Priyanka Chopra Jonas as Sati. Christina Ricci, who were watching it. And it's like, is that Wednesday? Shit, it is. Right? She is Gwendavere. Lambert Wilson is the Merovingian. Andrew Lewis Chadwell is Jude. Toby Onwumia is Sequina. Max Remlaut is Shepherd. We have Joshua Groof as Function. Brian J. Smith is Berg. Iridirina Ibarra is Lexi. Michael X. Summers is Skyrosh. L. Trey Wilson is Hanu. Mumbi Mayana is Elista. Max Muaf is Quillian. Yeah, Purab Kuli is Zen. Freema Agaman is Astra. Sabrina Schreckle is Fiona. Andrew Rottney is Scott. Cooper Rivers is GJ. Whew. Thelma Hopkins is Freya. Leo Shane is Bobby. Joe Mazza is Cup. Chad Stransky is Chad. Julian Gray is Brandon. Geiji Chatter Mulbat is Donnie. Tiger Hu Chen is MOTC. Volkruf Buff is Kush. Ellen Holman is Echo. I kind of feel that's probably it. You know what I mean? That's probably it, right? But people, okay. The gist. What is the gist of this film? Well, it is set 60 years after Revolutions and follows Neo, who lives a seemingly ordinary life as a video game developer. Thomas Anderson, having trouble with distinguishing fantasy from reality. A group of rebels, with the help of a programmed version of Morpheus, free Neo from a new version of the Matrix and fight a new enemy that holds Trinity captive. So, yeah, there you go, right? Now, after, so much talk of a possible, and it's just like, no, there's never going to be any more. The story is told. We then get this, and it opened up, and we're just like, what is happening here, right? We've seen this before. What is so? Basically, they retread the first film, like the opening of the first film gets kind of retread, but we then realize. I don't know if they're using old footage or if because although it's the same, right? There's bits of it that seem different. So I don't know if they reshot this whole thing using someone else to kind of create this slightly reflective look, right? But then we realize that we've got people looking in, right? So we got Bugs and the Sequina looking, and like Bugs is talking like, oh, we got to kind of learn from what went before and just all of this kind of stuff. So that kind of was weird, right? Then we get Neo. Well, now it's Thomas Anderson, right? He's in the real world, computer coder, working for a company. And the idea is the Matrix and the other two films were video games, right? That's the conceit of it all. So you have all of that, and it's just like, okay. Now his boss at the video game company is Agent Smith, but he's played by someone else, which is like, what's happening here? You know what I mean? So we then have Bugs go on this mission. Well, she's running away, right? She gets caught, she's escaping, she's about to get caught, and then she's grabbed, pulled into this room, and it's an Agent Smith, right? Who saves her and then pulls a gun on her, which is a bit like, what's happening? Like, what's the point here? Because you know what I mean? If he wanted her dead, he wouldn't have dragged her in the room, right? It's not like he drags her in the room, ties her up. It's like, give me information. So it's not an interrogation. You saved her. So why pull a gun? Like, that was just all weird. It made no sense. Which then gets into a lot of shit that makes no sense, right? We then find out that this Agent Smith is Morpheus. Right? This Agent Smith is Morpheus, a construct of Morpheus, created by Neo. Right? That's what they're saying, but it's a bit like, what? I don't understand, right? Because they brought back a whole heap of people for this. So whether Lawrence was just like, I'm busy, and from remembering at the time, Lawrence is like, no one even asked me, right? So it's weird. Be like, why wouldn't you bring back Fishbone? You know what I mean? Why wouldn't you bring back Weaving for Mr. Smith? There's no logical explanation for why these things didn't take place. You know? So it does seem weird in places, a lot of this. But yeah, his boss at the video is just like, we need another Matrix. He's like, oh, he's working on a game, it's not quite working. And he's pulled in the office thinking it's going to be about budget and time. And then it's just like, no, we need another Matrix. Right? Which then we get this whole brainstorming session, and loads of people are talking about what a new Matrix should be, what they're trying to capture, what they're looking for. And it was so on the nose, right? So on the fucking nose. Like people going, oh, the Matrix should be explosions and guns. More guns, more guns. Yep, that was there, people. They said that. Then it's just like, no, I feel the Matrix is a story about hope and psychology and physiology and blah, 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 blah. And so you got loads of people like just doing this whole thing. And it's just like we get it. You want to be meta. You know what I mean? You want to try and be like, oh, we're talking about a game, but we're also talking about the film and all the people who didn't want a fourth Matrix film. Well, the fourth Matrix film is going to be this, and it's going to be that, and blah, blah, blah. And it's just like, oh, God damn, it was painful. It was painful because you felt like it didn't need to be there. Didn't need to be there. There's like he's got friends at the video company and just all of this, where there is now a bit later in the film, which then kind of just dismisses all of that, right? Which then makes you go, what was the point in any of that, right? Just because the way it's done is just be like, oh, should we? No, for these reasons. It's like, oh, okay. No questioning, be like, you like, come on, no. And it's just like, oh, it's like, he sees a therapist, and to deal with his delusions and stuff like this, Anderson is taking a lot of pills. Guess what color those pills are? Right? So there's all of this stuff which is just so crazy. And throughout, we are getting flashbacks, right? Either flashbacks or there's video screens showing scenes from the first few films, right? And it's all a little bit odd. It's all a little bit odd. Yeah, all the rooms are huge. You know, they're going, oh, we got to escape. We're going here, and it's this huge room. Then we'll go here, it's this huge room, which made it kind of feel like loads of sets. You know what I mean? It didn't feel as much like a um a reality, right? This is a place they're inhabiting. It just felt like loads of sets. You know what I mean? And so we have all of these things happen, but it's just like, where is the danger here? I don't know if I saw the danger, right? In that, remember in that first film, and Mouse and the whole thing, people dying in the Matrix, just all of that, which made it super like, fuck, if you die, then you're dead. And like, man, the anxiety, just everything was there in the first film. In this one, it's not that. Because it's just like, oh, let's go rescue this, but let's go, listen, yeah, and you're just like, what? People have to die. Because, when you're faced with that many threats, like, you're not walking away. You know what I mean? You're not walking away scot-free. There's gonna be casualties. There's gonna be scars. There's gonna be, bloodshed. But in this, not really. Not really. Right? We get drones and drones of people thrown at them, which then you have the issue of, you're just, you're killing all these people, but didn't really feel like, what I mean, killing people. There's a weight that comes with that. When you're just like drone after drone after drone after drone, it's a bit like, where you kind of feel with all there should be, especially when, right, there's normal people doing things, and then the program takes them over, and you see that green in the eye, and just all of that, right? So what shooting them, you'd be like, oh no, they used to be, I just killed, like, there should be something, but in this it's just masses and masses of people. When you can do that, stop bullets with the hands and other shit like that, again, it removes the real threat. So it's just like, nothing serious gonna happen. They'll just do that. You know what I mean? So there's a lot of stuff in this which you feel like, this could have been really good. But there's just these choices that make no sense. Choices that make no sense. Morpheus's fashion, what the fuck went on there? Like, maybe you don't want to do the whole leather, jackets and all of that from the first film. Fine. You know what I mean? That's all right. I don't care. But they give him these suits. Some of the color suits are pretty fly, we'll say. But he's got a belt, right? They're button down suits. You know what I mean? But then you've got a belt around the middle. There is no need for the belt. The belt it also doesn't feel like it's in the right place, right? It's just, why has he got a belt? What the fuck is happening? They do the whole kung fu bit. Again, though, he's like, in the first, they were wearing like gis. In this one, it's this weird robe. And it all, like, he's got a martini. It all felt like, is he gonna train him or fuck him? You know what I mean? It's just weird. You're throwing this and not, hey, fucking ain't, I'm not saying that's weird, but it's this whole setup of the scene. It's weird. Yeah, there's just stuff that, oh man, it just, it's odd. It's an odd one. I will say, it's better than the last two, right? It's definitely better than those. You know what I mean? Because, Revolutions and I forget what the one before that was. What was the one before that? Oh, geez. Um, man, I do. Yeah, I can't remember. I cannot remember what that last one was, but it was better than those two. I will tell you that for sure. There were some interesting moments in here, but there's just a lot of stuff that isn't explained. Like with the third film ending, you know what I mean? And it's essentially they kind of made it June, remember? And he's like saved everyone and created this pack, right? So after all of that, how do we then get to this? You know what I mean? That's not really explained. Like, how do we get to this reality? You know, the whole thing about Tiffany Trinity, you're just like, but why? Like, that's not really, when you consider that technically all the stakes, although, as I said, it feels like there's no actual stakes, right, with the way everything goes, but with potential, all this at stake. Why Trinity Tiffany? It just there's all of these things that really don't add up. You know what I mean? Really don't add up, which is a shame. For sure, it's a shame, people. You know what I mean? But yeah, I don't know. It's just very Reloaded. That was the other one. Yes, Reloaded. It was just odd, right? It was just odd in the nature of how they wanted to tell this story, and you know, it does seem a lot of look how clever we are. Look at what we're doing here. How meta is this? Yeah. You think we're talking about this, we're really talking about this. There's so much of that, right? Which kind of just bogged this down so much. There's some hammy acting at the beginning, especially Reeves, who's like, I'm delusioned. Oh. But Keanu, like, listen, Keanu is a certain type of actor, right? There's certain roles that suit him so well. And then there's other films where he really nails it. And then sometimes he's goofy as fuck. In this, he's goofy as fuck. You know what I mean? But yeah, there you go. Listen, you may have already seen this. If not, right, I've watched it on Now TV. Um, but yeah, it's on all VODs, people. As I said, look, it's better than Reloaded and Revolutions. But did we really need it? I don't really feel we did. I really don't think we did. The way it ends is like there could be more. But if there needs to be actual threat, we need to go, oh, anyone can die, right? Which was the idea in the first one. This one, not so much. Listen, if you're all about the Matrix, then yeah, you want to kind of watch this and see where it goes. If you're just intrigued, watch it, but just don't expect it to be the Matrix, you know, even though it Force Awakens, right? It gives you so many. Look at, we're copying this scene from the beginning. Oh, we're redoing this scene. All of that along with all the flashback. Just, damn. But yeah, it's there. It's there. What can you do? You know, I'm curious about the recastings. I'm curious about the aging. I'm curious about, oh, there's so much I'm curious about, but it never gets answered, people. What can you do? All right. Well, The Matrix Resurrections, it's out and about. It's out and about, people.